there guys, and welcome back to Factorio 0.17 Vanilla, start to finish. I'm Xterminator, and thank you for joining me. We are back in our base here, and as I mentioned last episode, what I want to work on this time is heading towards purple science. You can actually see that we are researching it currently, but we can already start preparing the ingredients for it. So we need electric furnaces, productivity modules, and rails. And I think last time I said we need electric engines because it did used to require them before 0.17. It takes me a little bit to get caught up on all the new recipes memorized. But we can work on some of this. So the easiest one is actually going to be the modules. While they're probably the most expensive, potentially, they're actually the easiest. So ratio-wise, let's open this back up. We're going for 1 a second. So this is producing 3. This actually gets a little bit weird. So 1 a second, and these take 21 seconds. Actually, this isn't weird. They made the time perfect for this. So if we were to do 1 a second and these produced 1 per craft, then we would need 21 assemblers, right? Following the same logic we have with everything else. However, since they produce 3, we can take that 21 and divide it by 3, which luckily is an even division and equals 7. So while 21 seconds is kind of an odd number, like, in general for craft time, it actually works out perfectly for this, which I'm guessing is not an accident. But yeah, so we need 7 assemblers making this, which isn't too bad. And then to keep up with those 7, so that means we basically need a productivity module every 3 seconds, right? Because there's 7 of these. Yeah, I think that's right. So we look at the productivity modules. These things take 15 seconds. So that means we would need a lot of these. Because if we make 1 every 15 seconds, to make 1 a second, we would need 15. And we need 1 every 3 seconds. So we need 5? I feel like my math on the purple, on how much we need for this, is wrong. I think I'm doing this backwards in my head. Okay, if we have 7 things... No, that's right, because they take 21 seconds, right? So if we just had 1, we would need a module every 21 seconds. But we have 7, which means that it's 21 divided by 7, which is 3. Yeah, okay, so yeah, we need 7 machines making purple science, and then we need 5 machines making modules, which actually isn't too bad. Now the question here is, do we want to put the packs next to these packs or put the ingredients first and then the packs? If we're following suit from what we've done previously, we've done ingredients first and then the packs. The issue with that, though, is it actually makes it so the packs get farther and farther away, but I'm not sure I want to keep changing my layout here. I think I do actually want to do the packs close. It does completely change my layout of things, but that's okay. Okay, so again, this is going to need 3 belts, or 2 input belts, 3 total because of the output. So that's going to go there, and then we need 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And once it's researched, we can set the recipes. We'll send this down. I'm going to leave room for this to expand, otherwise I would have just merged here, but that's why I'm going to do this. And luckily, we can just sideload like that. It looks not great, but once this expands out, it'll look a little more clean and put together. Okay, so here's those assemblers. Let's actually go get a few more so that way we can do the modules. So luckily that module ratio worked out really well. 5 is actually, I mean, 5 is still pretty expensive, like, in all honesty, because, I mean, they take 5 red and 5 green per craft, which is quite a lot. I mean, like, when it adds up, because, you know, if we're making 1 every 3 seconds, I mean, I guess it's not too bad. We do need these for other things, though. Like, we'll need them, I think you need them for, like, higher level, I know you need them for Power Armor Mark 2, the level 3s, actually. Okay, so we've researched that. We can actually get level 2s now, if we wanted them. It's pretty cheap. So there's something we actually want more. Exoskeleton, potentially, would be really great. Okay, so let's set these guys up. Like so. Boom. Run some belts down. And in terms of, well, we know for a fact that the rail needs to be on its own belt because it requires 30, which is a ton. It's, again, 30 every 3 seconds. That's 10 a second. A yellow belt can move that. In fact, well, half a yellow belt cannot, because that would be 7 items a second for half a yellow belt. So we do need the full yellow belt for this. And then this one can be shared between the furnaces and the modules. So, see, this is where I feel like it'd actually be better to do the ingredients first, but oh well. Yeah. Could build it this way, but we're actually kind of close to this lake, and this is so much landfill we would need to do. So I'm trying to make this pretty condensed. Okay, I mean, 5 of these. We could just do like what we did over here somewhere, this one. Like I said, I'm not a fan of inserting right onto the belt that they're being taken from. I suppose it's not really a problem. We could try it. Let's for science. Let's try it. For science, we're gonna make them for science. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's gonna output here. Oh, because it may just be me being super finicky, and it actually is not a problem at all. Energy shields sounds like a great research. Doesn't even take blue. Okay, get these hooked up here, and we're gonna bring red and green circuits down this way. Red circuit's already here, but we don't want to split from this, remember, because that's for blue science. We want to split from this, and we are going to hit a cliff, I think. Probably. Okay, so if we... Aha! You're able to do it. We are going to hit the cliff, but we can at least split this. In fact, actually, stop, halt, halt. That is the wrong place for that. This guy actually needs to move back one, because we need it to side load, right? Because we need half green, half red. So he's going to come down. We could have side loaded up top, actually. I'm just being kind of silly. So we need to purge his belt. This may seem like wasting a ton of circuits, but really what we're going to do is just put them in there, except it's very unevenly divided, but that's okay. Close enough. Okay. So, which means this really could have gone there. Okay, so what we're going to do... Whoop. I'm just going to let those load onto there. Kind of help purge that belt. Got most of it. If we want to be really finicky, we can just drop them. You can drop stuff by holding Z, so we could just fill this side of the belt like that. And then the rest of these we can just put in there. Okay, so there's that. Green circuits are going to be way over here, which means... They really probably should have gone on the close side, but I don't feel like redoing the belt again. The reason I'm undergrounding this part rather than the crossovers is because this we can't really underground because it needs to merge right here. So we kind of have to underground this part. Let's grab some more underground belts. And then, yeah, so the rail are like really simple, right? But this is a super high quantity of these. 30 per pack. That is a lot of rail. Okay, let's see. Go like that. Yeah, this really should have gone on the other side. But that's okay. Actually, I have a better idea. So then we're going to split, come over, boom. That actually works decently. Okay, so red-green, that's done. Let's throw some long-handed on these guys so we can make sure to grab that. Okay, take some of these output. Again, we don't need fast inserters on this, but I'm just I like to kind of just have that tier of inserter on all my stuff at this point in time. Okay, so there's that. We don't need to power it on yet. And then we also, okay, so then we need rail and we need furnaces. Furnaces are going to take steel, advanced circuits, and brick. We have all of that. How many rail machines do we need, I guess is the question. So again, we need 30 per. So we need 30 every 3 seconds, right? Which is 10 a second, I believe. And these take half a second and give us 2. Okay, well, let's just say they took half a second, gave us 1. That means we need 5. And we need 10 a second. But it gives us 2, which means we need half that, which means we need 2.5, which you obviously can't do. So we're just going to have to do 3 assemblers of this, is pretty much the gist of the matter. So we're just going to do 3 right here. Now this direct insertion for this would maybe be good, but again, a yellow belt will work. A yellow belt can support this. It should be able to support the ingredients too. They're not that much. So he's going to come over, and we're going to have to underground this a little bit here. Because he's going to come over, and he's going to side load. Gotta love side loading. Onto this guy, right? Because close side, insert his output on the far side. Our energy equipment research is done. Electrical energy distribution. Oh, yes. Substations. Yes, please. The medium power poles are great, but there's some stuff where the substations are just king. All right. So output. This does need both sides of the belt. So 2 of these. 1 of these needs the output on the close side, which could be somewhat interesting. One thing we can do. I think there's an easier way to do this. Well, I mean, obviously, we could just do this, just to show you guys that there is... We could do that, which may just be better. What I was going to do is put a splitter and force this first one all onto one side, which I honestly kind of like better, because I just like having my inserters all lined up here. Either way, it's not going to look great, but, so what we can do is force this one onto this side. So we output priority left. We don't even need to set a filter, right? Because rail is going to be the only thing on here. But all this is doing is just forcing it to this side of the splitter, and then we're just side loading onto this closed side. So there's the rail. And then again, we need 3 input ingredients, which means 2 input belts. So stone, steel, and iron stick. It doesn't matter which one gets its own belt since they're all just 1. The iron sticks, however, are going to be a slight problem, which means, how many actually do we need? We need potentially a lot. 3 machines, so we need 10 rail a second. These output 2 though, so we basically need 5 iron sticks a second. And these give us half, so 2.5, and then 1, so we need like 2 machines, I think, doing iron sticks, if my math is even close to right. So what we're going to do is we're actually just going to scoot this whole thing down and make these first guys iron sticks. So same principle. Boom. I keep forgetting I have my hotbar. So we're just going to literally just scoot the whole thing down here. Boom. And there we go. And then this one is just going to output here. He's going to grab like that. And then we need iron in here somehow. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to have to make this one iron. I'm not actually sure if long-head inserters can keep up with this. We may need 2. I think we need 2. Potentially. And maybe overkill, I'm not sure. Okay, so we can clear this belt because that's output up to there. This one needs to be iron, and our iron is pretty close. And you guys did mention last time, and as I suspected, I did say that I was pretty sure it was excessive. You don't need a splitter before and after your split. It's one or the other. So off camera, I'm going to clean this up and probably get rid of one of them. I prefer the splitter beforehand. I don't know that it really matters. In the end, I think it results in the same thing. But I'm going to clean that up and get rid of the extra one. Like, in my opinion, sometimes I rather have excess than not enough. So, just, like, I wasn't 100% sure which way it was, so I just did excess to be safe. Power armor, beacons, we can't do that yet. We don't have purple science. Character logistic slots, sure, why not? Red and green, get some of those early ones out of the way. Okay, so in this case, we're going to do one before, and then we're going to do one out, like do that, except that. And then these guys can just go. Actually, maybe it is better doing it afterwards because it'll well, it's going to be weird either way, actually. Okay, so iron there. Then we need stone and steel, which can share a belt, which will come down, say, over here. And these guys are going to grab. This may also need two long-handed. I'm not entirely sure on that. If it does, we're going to have to do a little... That actually could be a problem. If it needs to. It probably does. Probably actually want a stack size bonus once this research finishes. Okay, so steel and... stone. Stone's way over here. Steel's kind of still back here-ish. So let's get some belt, hook that up, and I think that may be an episode. We didn't quite get purple science all done, but honestly, excuse me, honestly, it's a pretty good start. I didn't really expect to get the entire science pack and all its ingredients done in one episode. But it's a pretty good start. All right, so we take this. Let's bring our steel belt over. Next thing to do, and I'm going to show it on camera because a lot of people said they wanted to see the unloading stuff. The next thing to do would be to set up the train to work, set up the unloading and loading for it, because we are going to desperately need iron. The belts may look backed up now. They may actually not be backed up. Yeah, they're not doing great. Like 3/4 of these furnaces are off, so we're going to need that iron ASAP. Like really, really soon. Okay, so this guy, let's actually merge this correctly the first time. So he needs to come up to here. That. Do that, and throw an underground right here. There we go, and then stone is going to come along here. Luckily, we don't hit the cliff. Again, we are going to get rid of this. I just didn't want to run up to get the explosives right now. And the stone's going to come over. This will hit the cliff. Pain. All right, let's just go get the explosives. Because I could just underground it, but then I would need to take that away later. Let's just stop being lazy. Get the explosives. Should only need a couple, but I'll just make 5. We'll need more for sure. There's a lot of cliffs here. Again, this is default settings, remember. Normally, I would turn the cliffs way down or even off, but I want to do default. And cliff explosives, if you didn't know, you just throw them like that. Robots can actually use them once we get robots. Robots can use them, but they don't damage your stuff, which is really nice. Unlike normal like rockets or whatever, they won't damage your buildings because they are just set to work on cliffs, which is really nice. Okay, so split. The reason I have this guy here is because if we take it away, it's going to make this a curve belt and then put it on both sides. There is other ways to do this ish. We'll leave that there for now, though. This is why it would have been better to have these switched, this on the close side and that on the far side. We can change it later. Okay, sweet. So we've got that. We've got that. Some power. How do we want to power this? Okay, that looks like a nice spot. That fits there. Perfect. And then these guys can go here. These are actually going to turn on, but that's fine. The packs, of course, are not going to work. Not having these lined up is but unfortunate. We got some pretty messy power poles here, guys. Don't even, let's, this is going to be awful. So most of our builds actually aren't too bad. This one's quite nice. What is this? Red circuits? So the real question is, how's this doing? Doesn't have enough stone, because I have to grab 2 items. Yeah, so I'm not actually sure. It looks like it can mostly run fully. It's out of stone here, though. I didn't put a second long-handed. Well, actually, none of these have second long-handed. How come? Yeah, we need that stack bonus. This may allow us to do it with just one. We'll see. But I think that's going to do it, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to leave a like. And we almost got Purple Science. We will definitely have it next time. Just got to set up that furnace build. And yeah, we need definitely more rail, for sure. But anyway, that's going to do it, guys. Leave any thoughts and questions you have below. And until next time, I look forward to seeing you all. And do take care.